Cool. Wow, I got it all myself. Good morning, guys. My name's Justin Avini. We are, I think, streaming live to Facebook. Um, and we are letting people in. So, good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Saturday. Congratulate yourself on coming on so early on a weekend. That just means you guys are excited. This series has been amazing. I'm going to give it a few more minutes to kind of have everybody come in here, but I really want to talk about some exciting stuff today. You know, a few things I'll tell you is I've been doing this almost 8 years now, and I don't know if you were able to hear me talk about overthinking it. But as you guys come on right now, say good morning, where you're from, who's excited. One thing I will say too, by the way, is make sure when you guys are messaging in the chat so everybody else can see you guys, you have to look and see if it says everyone or panelists and everyone. Make sure it's not just saying panelists, because sometimes it auto defaults to that. So you'll have all these messages coming through. All of us panelists can see it, but nobody else can. So they're like, what are you talking about? So just make sure you're set to that. But anyways, good morning again. My name is Justin Avini, and I'm always excited to get on and host these things. It's such an honor to be on here. I remember when I first started, we used to do phone call-ins the old way, but now we're here to Zoom. We're getting to see wonderful faces and really be excited to be on here. So I want to tell you, I talked about my story a little bit last time, and really, I wanted to share my whole story, and then I wanted to share something with you that's really important, and it's kind of going to be related to our action steps today and what we have in our hands. And really, what I talked about last time was overthinking it, right? This is a beautiful thing. And so my story was simple. Jamil reached out to my wife. They were good friends. He had kind of heard our story of our struggles, our stresses, our financial situation. I'm a construction guy making $15 an hour. Jenny's going to school to be a nurse, not really much money in that at the time because you can't work. When you're becoming a nurse or an RN, you have to study full time. So there wasn't a lot going on there. And our relationship was suffering because I was getting chewed out every day, making $15 an hour in California. Let's just be real. And, that didn't really do us a lot of serving as far as our relationship. I would get yelled at. I'd want to come home. I'd want to not talk. She'd want to talk and be nurtured. That's part of the relationship. And I was just not there. And so Jamil kind of heard all these things and did what he did best and kind of followed up and chatted with her and shared, hey, this would be a great opportunity for Justin. And all I heard was spaceship food and diet. And I'd always seen Jenny struggle with those. And I prejudged it. Let's be real. I prejudged it. But that being said, once I was ready and I made a decision, I was up on a roof one day and I was just kind of getting chewed out. And I was just over it. I was like, man, this isn't worth my time. This isn't worth my life. And so I reached out to Jamil. I was all in right at the beginning. I think it was 1 to 2 days in. I put my 2-week notice in after ordering my business kit and my program. I ordered it all at once. I threw it on a credit card. I didn't think I could afford it. At the time, I honestly had about $10,000 in my savings account. I got on with the wonderful Karen Elstrom. We did our 3-way call, like as we do our Coach Explorer calls. And I wanted to just make $2,000 a month. I figured it'd take me about 90 days to start doing that. And this was our game plan. And I always share this in a light way, and you guys may laugh about it, but it's true. I like to say it this way. I was honestly too dumb to care what people thought. And I didn't overthink it. And that was a blessing to me because I literally just was with Jamil. Well, what's next? And what's next? And what's next? And to be honest with you, I brought on about 28 clients my first 30 days. I made about $3,100 my first month. The technological part about it is I didn't know how to use a Facebook. I didn't know how to use a smartphone. I didn't even know how to send out emails. I'd get messages from Jamil, hey, you can't CC out everybody's email. But the thing is it didn't matter. I was still willing and wanting to figure out something better in life. So as you guys kind of hear some of these stories, one of our action steps I'm going to throw out there early because I want you guys to think about it. Who are 10 people that could fully use this opportunity? Not just weight loss, not just the mental, not just the finances. One of those 3 areas, you can find people. And a lot of times us newer coaches come into this and we want to know, well, who can lose weight? This Susie's very unhealthy and she needs to get off a weight-related medication, or Tom's, he's 100 pounds overweight and he's in his 60s. That's great and that's beautiful. But what else can they use? Or who do you know that maybe doesn't need to lose a lot of weight, but potentially could get stressed out, potentially could have a heart attack because their finances aren't in order, their stress levels aren't healthy? That's the thing we want to look at. So one thing I want to share with you guys too, and then I will let this thing kick off, is it was a note I sent to my coach in one of the most awkward times of the United States and even the world. We were in a pandemic, something that nobody ever thought would ever happen. And I'll be honest with you, when I grew this business, my immediate circle was not the biggest supporters. That may happen. I'm telling you guys as newer coaches, some of you seasoned coaches already see it, but maybe don't want to accept it. And I'm being okay with that, sharing that, because it's important for us to understand this. So I wrote this to Jamil back, I believe, in, I want to say like April, May, March time. I'm not too sure. But I literally put this, I said, I just wanted to thank you, bud. As I sit here and think about, as I think of gratitude and see all these people struggling all over America, shoot, the world, close friends, strangers, small businesses, people losing their jobs left and right with no backup plan or savings. Either way, thank you for introducing me to this amazing life. I'm in this kitchen trying to reach out to folks and the intention to share to as many that want to listen like you did for me. Beautiful, relaxing music, and my daughter's playing in the background, safe. Not a financial worry in the world. I hope we can really help people see what an amazing opportunity this is. Thank you again, bud. Love you and your family. Forever grateful, truly blessed. So I sent that to him because I'm truly blessed for what this opportunity is. So I hope you guys take this to the next level and really understand when you're making these lists, there's a Justin Avini out there. There's an Alex out there. There's a Josh and Michelle Baum out there. There's a freaking Jamil out there, right? Every one of you guys' stories is important, and do not prejudge these lists. So anyways, I'm going to get out of the way because I could talk forever. But I just want to bring on the wonderful Alex Corona. She's going to kind of share. And Alex, are you there?
Hi, good morning. My name is Alex Corona, and I've been coaching since February of this year. I did start, with the weight loss, and in the middle of my journey, I fell in love with the whole process. I didn't expect all of this to come from coaching. I'm going to be honest. I did it because I was so excited about what was happening in my life. I wanted to share with everyone around me. I wanted everyone to feel as good as I was feeling. Um, I ended up hitting ED within 6 weeks of coaching. I left my job. I was working 2 jobs at that time, December of last year. I'll never forget. I was working a graveyard at a warehouse from 8 p.m. to 6 in the morning. We were struggling financially. I was too embarrassed to even tell anyone that I was working that second job. I had a real estate job during the day. So it was crazy. It was busy. We were struggling financially. That led to, struggles in our relationship. We have 5 kids. Okay. So just imagine working all night, getting off, making breakfast, packing lunches, dropping off kids, working a second job. It was the worst time of my life, I can say. Coaching has completely turned that around. Being able to leave my jobs that I hated, having freedom, becoming the mom that I wanted to be, because now I have time, I have the tools that I need to create this wonderful life for my family. In the middle of the pandemic, our kids were not able to play with their friends. They were not able to go anywhere. I'll never forget the first thing that I purchased with my coaching money was this like $900 blow up jumper water slide thing for our kids. And it was like, I would have never been able to afford that. We were living paycheck to paycheck. It was just a small thing like that, but it made my kids' summer the best summer. They were so happy. And it feels good to be able to bless my family with little things like that. Our some of the things that we've been able to accomplish so far a lot of little things, but it means a lot to us. So we're almost done paying off our debt. We have one more thing to pay off. We were able to purchase a little van for our family. Um, we took a trip to Utah to celebrate a birthday that first I was not able to do these things before because I had to ask permission to take time off. I don't know about you guys, but I worked property management and you're only allowed to take like 2 weeks out of the year. I don't have to ask anyone anymore. I'm able to pick up my kids and my boyfriend and just go, you know. We left. We took the kids' computers, we did their little online work wherever we were at, and it feels so good to have that freedom in such a short amount of time. 3 months into coaching, I was already making almost $5,000 a month. I had never in my life, not even working 2 jobs, made that. It was just such a blessing and so refreshing, and just it gave me permission to dream and want things that I never thought I was going to be able to accomplish. And a few things that we have set for our upcoming year for 2021, which is insane because I'm only 31 years old. My boyfriend's 38, but for this upcoming year, I want to retire him. I want to bring him home. I feel like our kids deserve to have both parents here. There's nothing better for us than that. We're going to be done. We're going to be debt free. We're going to be done paying our last thing that we need to pay. And I'm planning a vacation for my family. We are a family of 7. Let me tell you, we have never even been able to take our kids to Disneyland at the same time. We would have to take turns. Like I would go with one kid, he would go with one kid, because financially it was not possible for us. And for me to be able to plan a whole vacation with all of our kids, it's just so, I don't know how to put it. Like I'm speechless. Like I never thought all these little things were going to happen, but I have no doubt in my mind that every single thing that I put on my list, my dreams, all of our goals that we have set, they're going to happen. I have no doubt. I'm so confident. I mean, Jamil, my boyfriend was friends with Jamil since before he started coaching. We've seen what he's done. We know what is possible, and we have such a wonderful gift. Like, not to share this with other people is just crazy. I tell everyone, I'm not kidding. I just get so excited about it. I want everyone to be able to have the opportunity to do all these things that you're not able to do when you're stuck. And that's how we were. We were stuck. We were stuck financially, mentally. It was a horrible time. And this has completely changed our life. So if you're here and you're getting to have the opportunity to do this as well, just go all out. Just go all out, get excited, and don't stop until you cross off all of your goals. So I hope this inspired some of you. Just know that it's possible. I did it. Jamil did it. You can do it too. Thank you guys, for letting me share.
Love it, Alex. Love it. Thank you so much. That was amazing. So guys, I mean, real stories, real people, right? These are people just like us. So I hope you guys are starting to get the idea when I said to make that list, right? One of our action steps today is going to be make a list of 10 people. And that's just getting started, right? No prejudgments. We don't know what's going on in people's worlds, man. Alex, thank you so much for sharing. So I want to move on to Molly, Molly Peterson. She's going to rock the house with some amazing stories too. But Molly, are you there?
I am. Oh my God, I am so excited to be here. I'm nervous, but I'm excited. So my name is I'm going to set my timer. Hold on. My name is Molly Peterson, and I'm 51. I have two grown daughters. One is in college, or third year of college. The other is married with 3 kids. So I'm a grandmother of 3. A little bit about my life. I was born with a congenital heart defect and have had 5 open heart surgeries. So the doctors always said that I would be very small and very sickly. And while I was sickly, I was not small. I'm actually 6'2". But what they also told me were there were many things that I could not do. You can't, you can't, you can't. So I really felt growing up like my greatest achievement was that I had simply woken up the next day, that I had simply not died. So I really carried that with me my whole life. Now, I've been on Social Security disability for 25 years because of my heart condition. I was a single mom. I had working 4 jobs and still digging change out of the couch to buy milk. I mean, just this desperate situation, and in the same time having the weight of depression just weighing down upon me so heavy every day, all that exhaustion every day. So I found myself 9 months ago in my bed, drunk, desperate, sad, and really just waiting for it all to end. If I'm being honest, I was just waiting for it all to end. Okay. But there was a voice in me that said, get up, get up. You cannot do your next 50 years. There has got to be something else. And there is something else. And that something else was Optavia. And I honestly, I didn't think I was worthy of getting healthy. I didn't think I was worthy of having dreams. But it turns out I am. So a month in, I start coaching and we do the meet and greet, and I'm on with Whitney and Meryl, God bless you. And Whitney asked me, what are your dreams? And I had nothing. I couldn't think of anything. Dreams, I don't have dreams. Much less speak them to a stranger. I couldn't even admit them to myself, but I did come up with some dreams after some prodding. One of those dreams was to get off of Social Security. That was my big goal, get off of Social Security. I had to get this albatross off of my back. So with their leadership and their guidance, I hit ED. I started coaching in April. So I hit ED in July. And I said, I don't need this anymore. And she said, we never get calls like this. And I said, well, I don't need it anymore. I'm done. And I've been able to quadruple that income that I lost from Social Security. So some of the other things on my dream list: bills paid, done. No debt. February 1st, I will be debt free. Having my kids solid financially. 10 pounds lighter. Yeah, that was done. Relationship, we'll cross that off. Forget that one. So what this program really has given to me and has given to you is the gift of taking responsibility for your own life. Taking responsibility for your own life. You are so worthy of this. You are so worthy of this. And anyone who you are helping is so worthy of this. I just, the things we can rise up from the bottom of a bottle. We can rise up from our beds. I mean, what has brought us all here is really desperation. Depression, that's what brought most of us here to Optavia. I mean, truth be told, because we were stuck. And now you can be unstuck. You can absolutely be unstuck. This community is so good and powerful and supportive and loving. And if you feel like you're stuck, if you feel like maybe I'm not worthy, think about what you've accomplished in this last year. Think about what you've accomplished in this last week, where you have come from and where you are now. Oh, God bless you all. I really want to say, I have a little quote, and I had it on my screen, and now of course it's gone. But so I really want to give a big thank you to Meryl and to Whitney and to Annika for pulling me out of the depths of despair, and showing me what's possible. God bless you all. Have a great day.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm over here not trying to tear up. Do you guys like realize what's possible around here? Are you starting to get the drift of the magic you have? Now really put this into perspective. You invested $200 to be able to go change people's lives like that. $200, not $200,000, not 7 years of schooling, $200. I want that to sink in for a second. This is not a hobby, ladies and gentlemen. This is not a hobby. Thank you so much, Molly. I appreciate you. Let's move on to the next person, because I know I can talk forever. Not that I talked a lot there, but there's so many words I could say about this program, this business opportunity, this miracle, this blessing. Anyways, thank you so much, Molly. Sorry, I'm just, like I said, doing a better job of not trying to tear up. So Miss Wonderful and Amazing, I always love hearing her speak. I love her energy. Miss Amira Estrada, are you there?
Buenos dias. Good morning, everyone. I am doing a worse job at keeping my tears in. Wonderful stories. And first, I want to thank Jamil and the leadership team for allowing me to share my story and my participation in this program. I also want to give a huge thanks to my coach, Yesenia, and I want to thank her for being brave, for saying yes to the program, and for posting her before and after picture, and for helping her husband get healthy, because it was that picture that enabled me, or it was the window for me to get healthy. You see, when I saw the before and after picture, I was, and I'm going to try not to tear up, because when I saw that, I'm so sorry. When I saw that picture, I was in a very good place. People could see that I was in a good place. I had a new job, had relocated to Arizona to teach at a local Research One university. And everything seemed fine, but that came at a lot of struggle, right? A lot of failure in the past. So when I had this opportunity to teach and be stable financially, I gave it my all. But all of the work that I was doing was rooted in fear, right? It was rooted in fear of losing that. What if I lose this opportunity? What if I get fired? What if I get let go? At that point, I was a single mom. My daughter was 10 years old, and we all relocated to Arizona. So this was my second chance. I gave it my all to this job. It was my dream job, something that I was working for a long time, and that ended up in gaining weight. I gained a lot of weight in a matter of about a year and a half. I gained about 15 pounds because all I was doing was working. I wasn't having good relationships. I was just focused on work, because I felt that this was my way out. And they said that fear is not rational, right? But I want to tell you a little bit about my background and how my fear was based on real experiences. So if I can go back a little bit, you know, when I was 17, my dad passed away, and we have his anniversary is coming up on the 22nd of this month, and he passed away. So we lived in Mexico at the time, and we had to make a decision whether to stay in Mexico or come to the US. So we decided to come to the US. I didn't know English. I learned English, and my grandma kept telling my mom, don't take me to the US because she's gonna get pregnant. She's not gonna finish her schools. She's gonna fail. And I really internalized that. I really internalized those fears. And I just focused on my education. I thought, if I do well in school, I will make my mom proud, and I will make sure that, you know, nobody can say anything to my mom, right? So I focused on learning English. I went to my local community college. Then I transferred to UCLA. I graduated. Shortly after that, I got married, had my wonderful daughter. Then I transferred to USC, where I was working towards my PhD. And midway during my PhD program, I got divorced. I've heard many stories here where, you know, separation, divorce, that can be painful, right? So it wasn't easy for me either. But again, I turned to education, right? Like if I just stay focused, if I just finish my PhD, my life will be well. I will be able to give my daughter a solid foundation. At that time, I was living in Long Beach with my mom. I had to move back to my mom's one-bedroom apartment. And that wasn't the future that I wanted, right? That wasn't the future that I wanted for my daughter and for myself. So I put my head down, I put the divorce feelings aside, and I work, and I graduated with a job at UConn. And I thought, okay, this is my opportunity. Unfortunately, my ex changed his mind about letting me take my daughter to UConn. Oops. And I had to decline to the position. So as a result of that, I was adjuncting. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but that means basically having a PhD, being a doctor, working at 5 different universities and earning $20,000 at the end of the month. That is ridiculous. Nobody should be earning that for that much work. And that was my reality. That's what I was doing for 2 years. So finally, when I landed the job in Arizona, it was my way out. It was my plan B. But again, it was rooted in fear. And when you are doing something because you're afraid, you don't enjoy it, right? You don't enjoy it because you are always worried about losing it or somebody taking it away from you. So when I joined this program and I started coaching, it really gave me freedom. It gave me the opportunity to not live in fear, to see that I was able of doing something else and still provide a wonderful life for my family. As a result of my coaching, I was able to pay my student loans, right? So I read a book a while ago, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and it said, keep your day job and mind your own business. So that's what I did, right? I'm still a professor, but I'm minding my own business, and I'm really focusing on growing this coaching business. And as a result, again, I paid for my student loans. I still have a lot of colleagues who are complaining about their student loans and when are they going to pay them off. And I just focus and I'm like, I'm going to pay my student loans. I paid off my student loans. I saved enough money for another house. So I'm going to buy a new house with my new partner. I was able to find a wonderful partner, and I have a baby. He's 10 months old. I lost the weight after my pregnancy. He's 10 months old and I'm already back to my pre-maternity weight. And I just love what this program has done for me because it has enabled me to dream and not be a fear of, am I going to get let go, right? And that is so real because I've seen colleagues who, after giving their lives, their 5 years of their life to an institution, they're just told, thank you, but we're not going to retain you, right? So I know that that could happen. I know that that's real. However, I know now that if that was to happen, I still have my business. I don't have to put my family in jeopardy. And that is so important. And for me is simply amazing to know that through coaching, I am very close to matching my income, right? So for me, that's amazing. Like if I decide that to do this full time, I can match my income as a professor, and that is a good thing, right? I don't have to be tied to again, an institution or depending my well-being on somebody else. So I'm really excited about that. It has also given me a different perspective in terms of having a positive outlook in life. We have an amazing power hour with our team of coaches every morning at 8 a.m. And that's just a wonderful community that I don't have at my day job, right? A wonderful community that I don't have at the university. So I really treasure that with all my heart. And I look forward to waking up and meeting my wonderful ladies and gentlemen in our team. And I'm going to see them in a little bit as well. So I'm just very grateful for this community. I started coaching 3 years ago, and for the first 2 years, I didn't do much because, again, of the fear of making sure that I was focused on the other job. I regret doing that. I wish I would have put more energy, but it's never too late. So whether you started late and you're a while ago and you haven't done much with coaching, you can always bring your business to life again. So for me, this year was amazing. For me this year, I was able to sponsor new coaches. I was able to help other people dream as well. And I see it in this call, for example. I see friends working with friends, right? Like Jamil and Annika. I've heard their story of how they've known each other for some time. And how they work together now as coaches. And that's what I want. I want to bring my friends, and I want to dream with my friends, and I want to help them achieve their dreams as well. So that's all I have. I thank you for the invitation. It's always an honor to share, and I enjoyed all the stories. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you, my friend. I love it when coaches come out and just blow your socks off, and they're like, "That's all I have." That's so amazing. Thank you so much, Amir. I appreciate you, guys. I mean, look at the opportunities that are allowed to be happening right here with what we have. And let's be honest, has anybody kind of really heard much about weight loss numbers, medications? Don't get me wrong, this can impact people. My grandma, pain medication, down 44 pounds at 84 years old. She's now 90. She's kept it off. My aunt, type 1 diabetic, lost 89 pounds, 4 insulin injections a day down to a half one. Don't get me wrong, those are amazing stories. I'm not downplaying health, but longevity, the system that Dr. A's put in place, coaching is that next step. So if we're looking pre-client, you got to look pre-coach too, right? Like pre-diabetic. Who's pre-diabetic? You're either diabetic or you're not, right? So you're either a coach or you're not. But the thing is you have to figure this out and make sure that you're understanding what people are doing. I got a guy who's in my garage every night paying his bills, and he's working on my car, and I got a soft spot for him, things I could do. But I'm in a blessed position where I'm paying this dude to work on my car because he's got a 2-year-old daughter. His last job got closed down from Corona. The boss didn't pay him the $3,000 and took off to Arizona. And this dude's trying to survive with his daughter. A year ago, his house got broken into, a house he was building about an hour away from here. They took all of his stuff. He had to foreclose on the house, lost everything. What do you think I talked to this dude about? This dude is another Justin Avini. I'm not going to say his name yet, but when he comes on as a coach and he comes on as a client, this dude's going to rock the house. He is literally me 8 years later. He's doing everything he can, and he's in the wrong vehicle. And he's hit a roadblock every single turn. And he literally told me last night, he says, maybe now is my time. There's a reason that we met somehow, right? And so these are opportunities. If you put people in your path, if you figure out ways to put people in your path. I got a wonderful Roy and Dawn. They bought my boat, right? I didn't sell them or talk them into stuff or get nervous about bringing up what I do. I loved on people, create a relationship, support people, and now they're coaches rocking it out. They have their first few clients. They're just doing amazing, right? They're down, I think, probably close to 50 pounds combined, and they've been on program a couple months now, right? Those weren't just random acts. Those are ways of putting people in your path, figuring out ways to talk to people. And I talked to them kind of more about the coaching right out the gate because I understood their situations based on the finances of a boat, right? I came into this business for the finances, so I look at every opportunity for what this business can help us with. And it can help you long-term with your health if your finances and your mental space is in a better position. So I just love all these stories, guys. So I'm going to bring on the wonderful Annika Relafert, who loves to rock the house. I know she has amazing energy, and I'm going to let her take it away. Girlfriend, are you there?
I am. Oh my gosh. I'm sitting here just kind of honestly with just joy in my heart this morning, you guys, because, you know, when I read page 144 in Dr. A's Habits of Health book, 466, down at the bottom, it talks about fulfillment. This is what I had been missing in my life, you guys. And I don't know about you, but I just needed a little bit more fulfillment. I'm gonna really go unplug this morning with you guys, because this is how we have breakthroughs. You know, I want you to put #me in the chat if 2020 has been one of the most difficult seasons in your life, you guys. This is a really good place to be vulnerable and connect with everybody. Don't hesitate to put that. Okay, so I'm starting to see, look, you guys, I want to share some massive vulnerability with you guys. You're not alone. Your 2020 was Jeremiah's and ours 2016. You guys, we were at the hardest and darkest, painful, gut-wrenching year of our life. Who wants to win the lottery? Everybody hopes to win the lottery, right? In life. I'm going to tell you guys right now, we won it in 2016, but it came in a horribly wrapped package, you guys. Our son almost died from a really rare condition that only 6 kids at the time had ever been diagnosed with. Okay. Like, that's a lottery ticket. It's just not the one that you want. Okay. So we were living in the hospital for 3.5 months and throwing out any sort of normalcy that we had in our life. We had hit a point that we had hit rock bottom, you guys, but I want to be clear when I say this. It was in this moment of pure desperation that we decided to make a decision and contend for hopes and miracles. We didn't give up. I want you to think about this as I tell you guys this. In this moment, life was breathed into us by somebody really we didn't expect. And he gave us hope. It was my coach and friend. And in our most desperate hour, it was like this random act of kindness from him, a gift of time, a gift of love, a gift of compassion, and cash to get us through a really, really tough time. It was in this moment, you guys, that what my mentor had offered to us in 2013, when I was a client and dropped 30 pounds and said, no, I'm good, I don't want to coach, and gained all of the weight back, and that I blew it off so shrewdly that hope started coming back. It was a moment where I had hope for a different future. It was one of not wanting to live paycheck to paycheck, cash advances for groceries, deferment on our car loans in December to be able to pay for Christmas. So exhausted from the day that you snap at your spouse or your son, not having to put vacations on credit cards, not having to ask for the time off, not feeling like you have to take a vacation from your vacation, not worried if you were going to get laid off or fired, not having to worry about paying for a car repair. That was worth fighting for, the possibility of not being there. And when it shifted, when we started coaching from the lack and the scarcity to abundance and what was possible, because we put in the hard work and the heart work every single day, that's what fueled my fire and Jeremiah's fire every single day. See, we already knew what it was like to suffer, and so do you. What's a little bit more fuel for your dreams? What's a few more adding friends? What's a few more conversations? A few more health assessments, a few more posts, a few more trainings. I already did that work in my 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Yes, you guys, 10 to 12 hour shifts a day. What was just a little bit more? What if we did just a little bit more? What if I actually did what my mentor told me? What if I actually made the commitment to myself and my dreams? What if I did the hard work and the hard work, even when I didn't even feel like it? Like a Saturday morning, which I'm sure some of you are waking up this morning going, I'm exhausted. I don't know if I want to get up and do this. You guys, it was this little bit more that had us going from a broken marriage, an absentee mom, financially overextended and physically dead, to thriving in a matter of months, to the point now where I can't even look at our life and see how extremely blessed we are, because it's to the point now where we have our own LLC, you guys. We've matched Jeremiah's corporate six-figure income that took him 13 years to achieve in 3 years, to be able to pay for somebody else's Christmas, to be able to pay thousands in cash to a dying friend's family, to pay for cash outright for upgrades to a brand new home, to go from how do you go from a place of just suffering every single day to take a vacation at the drop of the hat, not having to worry about expenses or to ask for time off. As I hear my son's footsteps, to be able to be home and be present for my son. You guys, all it took was making a decision that it was going to be our reason and our season, not our excuse. You guys, tough times never last, but tough people do, in the words of Dan Bell. When 2020 throws the crud at you like it's impossible, I want you guys to throw it right back at 2021 and say, I'm possible. Because you've been giving an opportunity that can change everything for you. Justin, I'm going to throw it back to you, my friend.
Yeah, buddy. So, I mean, I'm not going to say anything. It says it all, right? So I'm excited to bring on Josh and Michelle. Thank you, Annika, so much. Love hearing your nuggets. Love hearing your stories. Love that your boys doing well. I'm going to bring on the wonderful Josh and Michelle Bamba. They're going to kind of rock the house and kind of give us some ideas of what we can do. Josh and Michelle, are you there?
Good morning. Yes, we are here. Thanks, Justin, for having us on. We are excited to be sharing this topic. First of all, everyone has done such an incredible job today and just really sharing their hearts and their passion with us. As you can see, we are no longer with a beautiful background. We are back home, but we're excited to be sharing this topic together because the structure in growing a large organization and supporting coaches and teams and coaches is key to really finding that freedom in this business. I mean, how many of you would like to grow a large organization? Or I don't want to assume, but I'm guessing you're here because you want that freedom and you want to find that financial and that time freedom through Optavia. So I'm going to let you get started on this.
Perfect. Well, guys, maybe you're new, maybe you're experienced, maybe you're somewhere in the middle and you haven't really bought into this whole mentorship model thing yet with Optavia, right? If you thought before, what does it even matter? Aren't I better off on my own? Maybe some of you are doing, you see people doing maps, checking in with their coaches, three-way calls, they're working a system. You're seeing them be successful, right? Maybe you're saying to yourself, I don't know what, or I know what I'm doing, but I can really do this on my own. You ever feel like this? Have you ever just done it on your own? Guys, that was me for a very short time, thank God. Really, let me tell you, I came from corporate America and I was pretty much the boss, right? I had one person above me and he was in Chicago. I was in LA. I had an ego coming into this. I'd always been the best at what I did, right? Anything that involved sales, whether it be volunteer stuff at college, whether it be, selling, financing, whether it be what I was doing with ad sales prior to me running the office. I was always the best, right? I could take anything that Justin could give me and I knew I was going to make it better. Well, I was lucky I got out of my own way sooner rather than later, right? I remember talking with Justin. We had a mutual friend that introduced me to him. And he told me what Justin made. My exact words on that first call was, hey, tell me more about how you make this money and this coaching thing, but I don't need your whole sales pitch. You know what Justin said to me that day? He said, well, hey, let's just see if this program even works for you. We can talk after your first week. We'll know if it works by then, right? Guys, he knew I wasn't ready to listen at that point. He knew I hadn't even bought into the program, so why was I gonna buy into the coaching and the actual system of coaching? Justin wasn't in it to sell a coaching kit, right? He talked to me a lot about my dreams, what those represented. I wanted to leave a job, right? That's what got me into action. Not the right action though, right? I did me for about 10 days. Funny story. I was in a text message thread with about 8 other guys where I literally, right after I bought my coaching kit, guys, I'm down 14 pounds. I'm feeling awesome, this and that. You got to do this program. I became a health coach. The reply was, oh, Bomba's selling Herbalife. And everybody laughed about it, all that stuff. Well, after they saw my before and after, and a little later on, I think 7 out of the 8 guys actually did the program. I have another best friend. We grew up calling him Fat Matt. He was overweight. I literally told him, hey, I'm down 14 pounds. I'm feeling great. You don't have to buy into this pyramid scheme if you just want to lose the weight. I had no idea how to talk about this program, right? It wasn't until going to convention, and I said I got out of my way 10 days in the program. We went to convention 10 days into coaching. That's where I understood the company. I understood the vision, the mission, all of the people that failed before us to put together a system that almost always guarantees success when it's done consistently. I did my first 2 practice calls, and I say my and I here because Michelle, I mean, although she didn't want to coach in the beginning, Michelle had 3 clients when we went to convention. So this is the first time I really saw how the mentorship model worked. Just about everything you do in life is so much easier, after you watch somebody else do it first, right? We watch, we teach in this business. Has anyone ever brought a client on a celebration call and noticed they open up to your coach? They let your coach, they talk about they're eating, 3 fuelings, they're working out. I'm literally sitting here with Justin on these calls. I'm like, oh my God, I told them not to do that. And from there, it was literally, I'd call Justin afterwards and say, Justin, he says, I know, everybody opens up to the professional, right? Isn't it mind-blowing when your coach brings up coaching? If they're mad, you say, oh my God, I can't even believe you brought that up. If they're into it, say, that's such a good idea, right? Your coach spends time with you doing these map calls every month to help you be laser focused on the areas, the strategies, the people that are going to help you reach your goals. I did these every month until, 8 months into being a global. Now I do a more expanded map that literally tracks the entire business that I have. This business is simple. Your coach is there as a mentor, a guide. It's in everybody's best interest for you to be as successful as you want to be. What's the Optavia mission? It's to get America healthy, then the world. We can't do that alone. Our reach becomes exponential when we find coaching partners. When we that makes the biggest difference. We teach someone else the same structure we know works. We want clients at the same time to have the same experience, whether they're in Florida, whether they're in Alaska. How do we do that with a proven system? I always make it known with my clients and coaches that we want them to join the mission. It's not about being a part of a discount buying club. As a coach, I pay the same as my clients. I've joined a mission I believe in. It's about, I guess in a way, it compromises the integrity of a coach if we're placing our orders under ourselves, right? The idea of this business is you build it in structure. Imagine a day when you don't have to go out and try and find clients. You have an entire team of coaches. Now you can just keep duplicating yourself layers down. When you bring on a client, you bring them on because you know they're going to be a coach. Think about how many lives can be changed at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you guys ever wonder how coaches are making the income that they make? Do you ever wonder, man, how are they doing that? How are they able to do that? Well, it really comes, you guys, it comes from working hard and working deep into legs of the business. And that's something that I'm going to kind of go over is really the structure, because it's something that we've done. It's something that we continue to do. And now it's something that we teach our coaches to do the same. So I'm going to be going through really the structure of really supporting and mentoring coaches and teams of coaches as you grow a large organization, and why that's a key ingredient that really leads to building larger and more successful organizations, but also while building leaders. it's definitely important for you all to know what kind of work that takes. What does it take to make the income that you dream of? You know, this week it's all been about dreaming. It's been about what's been possible. Well, let me tell you, you can 1000% create any income and live any dream out loud through Optavia. Many of you saw we were just in Bora Bora last week. You guys, that was a dream that Optavia paid for, a dream that would have never come true if we weren't coaches. You know how amazing it was to receive the tab at the end of the trip and not have to worry about how expensive it was or having to put it on a credit card? Optavia did that. How? It's because we made that decision that no matter how tough it got, we wouldn't give up in this business. So if you haven't already, today is the day to stop thinking small, to start thinking bigger, to start getting uncomfortable in order to grow, because we need more leaders. And Optavia, what Optavia really needs, they need you. So if you have that desire for more and your why makes you cry, then it's going to take a lot from you. It's going to take you to level up. It's going to take you to have grit, to be consistent every single day, and a lot of giving up the good to experience the great. So let's kind of get into the 3 areas that Optavia pays. You know, Optavia pays us to support clients, pays us to support coaches, and pays us to support teams of coaches. But do you want to know where Optavia pays the most? The true moneymaker in this is where our bonuses come from. It's supporting teams of coaches. Can you support a ton of clients and make an incredible income? Absolutely, actually, right? But that's not working smarter. That's working harder. So you can have that financial freedom from helping clients. Growing to an executive director business can really help you start to experience that financial freedom, right? Well, growing to FIBIC or growing to FIBBLE, that's where you're going to experience the time freedom, because that is the goal. It's to have both, because you can be financially free and you can live the time freedom that you desire. So we learned amazing client support from Rachel a couple days ago. So we're not going to be getting into supporting clients, because we're really going to talk about what creates financial and a time freedom, because remember, that's the goal. So what does it take? Well, we're going to go through basically a 4.5-year journey into our coaching journey, into our coaching life, to share the easy, the hard, the really hard, but ultimately the most rewarding journey that has given us the life that will forever be grateful for. And this is really what it took for us to level up. And it took us to go through every season of coaching to get to ultimately where we are today. So let's talk about growing to ED. You know, we actually got there quick. I'm talking off of 2 Facebook posts. Our grand opening, we got to ED. But let me tell you, we spent a lot of years connecting with people, making friends, building relationships, because maybe not everyone here has that following that we had. So your job to build to ED is to really, you know, just share your story, build that trust, believe that everyone you know is going to do your program, coach with you, or trust you enough to let you into their world to help their friends and family. This is about just sharing your story boldly and just really being children and really being there, you know, to really just share the world. And that's all we did, was we just shared boldly with people. We didn't care. We shared with every single person, whether they wanted to listen or didn't want to listen. So going to ED, honestly, was probably an easy journey to get to. But now let's talk about growing to FIBIC. Now that started with the best darn client support and doing exactly what Rachel taught us to do a few days ago. And let me share that nothing came easy. It was simple. It was simple as this the business really is simple, but it's not easy, you guys. And you're going to hear that a lot. You know, while growing to FIBIC, we both had full-time jobs. We both worked opposite schedules while taking care of a 3-year-old. Now, this required doing a lot of calls before and after work, during breaks, you know, listening to playbacks, trainings, you know, during commute. We never missed a training. You know, we did this during work times. We did this during nap times. But this is where we start to share our story, because our story evolved more into what coaching was allowing us to do. So are you sharing that? Are you just sharing the health? Are you sharing everything that Optavia is allowing you to do through coaching? It was about believing wholeheartedly that Optavia is not a weight loss program, but gifting people more than that. It was not missing client celebration calls. It was constantly sharing that coaching was that next step for them, that it was in their best interest, and really sharing the excitement. And once we started bringing on coaches, it required us to inconvenience ourselves to help coaches with practice calls, to help support their first few clients. to help them learn new skill sets, to help them teach them the skill sets that they needed to know growing to senior coach. So far, sounds kind of simple, right? Sounds like maybe, okay, that's been kind of easy. Well, this next phase was our hardest. So no matter where you are, please realize that no coach has had a perfect journey, that every successful coach that you see has had challenges. So I'm going to be sharing probably the hardest phase that we went through, and that was actually growing to integrated national director. And to be transparent, you guys, this was a messy time in our business. You know, we hit integrated national 6 months into our business, and because we grew fast, we had a lot of messy habits. We were doing things half-assed. We were text message coaches. We didn't order books. Structure was a hot mess. And this is the time that we actually fought a lot because structure was not aligned. You know, we had no structure. Our hours of operation were all over the place. And because of that, we felt overwhelmed a lot of the times. And typically during this time, this is the time when coaches decide to quit, when it gets too hard. Have you thought this way? Have you thought about quitting when things got too tough? Because that, you guys, it's too easy to quit, right? But that's giving up on your dreams and it's giving up on you. And let me tell you why we didn't quit, because that would have been easy, right? Things got tough. Let's wash our hands. Let's walk away. But we didn't, because our why was too big to go. So we had to swallow some pride. We had to let go of that ego. We had to get in a structure and we had to keep going. So if you have any messy habits in your business right now, that's okay, you guys. I highly encourage you just to go and fix them. It's easy to do this now than when you have grown in a bigger organization and have to now clean up messes underneath, right? Everything is duplicatable. So it's okay if you have that. We went through that. It was never easy. But guess what? We did not give up. So when things get hard, don't give up, because coaches give up way too easy. If you stick it out, I promise you, you will see the success that coaching allows you to have. So let's talk about growing to global. So once we fixed up our messes, we got into structure, you know, and we made that decision not to give up. At this point, growing to global director, it really required us to work more on ourselves personally, right? Personal development, you guys. And we kind of started late. We should have done this way earlier, you know? So it really required working on ourselves personally for us, but also for our team. Have you heard of the saying, you get to FIBIC, but you grow to global? Well, it's true, because this requires us to level up. We can hand you a global business, but you're only going to go back to where you're personally at. So in order to grow to global, this is where we had to duplicate ourselves levels down, developing the skill sets of asking questions, getting your coaches and their coaches to dream. That's a skill set. If you get really good at that skill set, your team will explode, because dreams really drive the action. You know, we had to teach coaches the importance of 5 and 1ing their business. For every 5 clients, there's a coach in there. You're going to get to a point for every 5 clients, there are 5 coaches in there. We had to have them really focus on that, you know, and focus who's going to be their next coach. There are often times where we had to slow some coaches down on client acquisition because they had 10, 15, 20 clients and no coaches, because that is where the true gift is. Asking those questions. Who is the next coach? Who do you want to work with? Who is rocking this program and is ready to work with you? Once you build that sponsoring culture within your organization by asking these questions, let me tell you, your team is going to be unstoppable. You know, last year, and this took us time. It doesn't happen overnight, guys, because it took us a year to go from growing maybe 11 coaches in an organization to growing over 70 coaches a month organization. And it's just growing from there. So it does not happen overnight. It takes time. Building EDs is simple. You're going to master bringing on senior coaches, right? That's the goal, is bringing on coaches and bringing on and helping them go to senior. You don't want to get good at bringing on coaches. You want to get good at really asking to explore coaching, asking your coaches. That's the skill set that you want to get good at. Coaches will come, right? When you do that, coaches will come when you share what is possible. Then you build senior coaches. Then you go to building blended EDs, and that's simple. It's about having your coach go senior coach over and over, sharing the excitement, having them stay engaged. And most importantly, you guys, it's about teaching the blended path. And then lastly, growing to integrated presidential. Now this requires a decision. Every rank actually requires a decision, but this one required a messy season of expanding our work hours. Sometimes we were working 10 to 11 straight hour days with 0 breaks. Why did it take so much time? It's because there were some legs that we were working 6 levels down to make sure that skills were transferred. And this is where we learned that if you have an ED, you need to shore it with an ED. What do I mean? It's about anchoring your EDs. It's about anchoring your FIBICs. This is why working down is so important. It's when we reached out and really expanded and partnered up with multiple coaches and teams and really worked together to work on their dreams. It wasn't about the dreams that we had for them. It was about working on the dreams they had for themselves. You know, we stopped dragging coaches along who weren't in it to win it. We partnered closer to those that wanted it. Those that wanted this, they wanted to build something great. You know, because remember this, you guys, 80% of your time is going to go into 20% of your business, because that is where 80% of your income is going to come from. So it's really important to, you know, if you have coaches that you're dragging along, go find new coaches. There is no reason for us to drag out coaches that don't want this. And you know why it's really important to work levels down? Because some of your coaches are just a doorway to your next integrated presidential. You know, 6 of our ED teams come from level 2s and below. 3 out of 6 of our FIBICs are level 2s and below. 4 of our FIBICs are anchored down with another FIBIC. How did we do that? It was, we worked down, we mentored, we anchored. Again, we worked down, we mentored, we anchored. Does that make sense, you guys? Is that helpful? Because this is really what it takes. Will it be easy? Heck no. Is it simple? Yes. But there is no business at all that has the comp plan that we do. Because going from global director to integrated presidential, we gave ourselves a $25,000 a month raise. Now tell me what company allows you to do that. Can you walk into your corporate office and say, hey, can I get a $3,000 raise this month? Can I get a $10,000 raise this month? Can I get a $25,000 raise this month? Heck no. But you know what? Optavia allows you to do that. It requires work. It requires being consistent. It requires just not giving up and really going to share this gift with everyone. And this is why Optavia pays so well to support coaches, and especially teams of coaches, because that's when they start giving you those leadership bonuses, you guys. It's work out, you know, wide, but also work deep, because that's how the comp plan comes from, is that national bonus, the global bonus, the presidential bonus, the ED generation bonus. Honestly, this business is about growing EDs, because that is where the majority of your income is going to come from. So you guys, Optavia knows when you are investing in your business, because that's when they start to pay you more, is all of those leadership bonuses. So my biggest tip for you guys, if you didn't catch this story, is that if you have a senior coach, help them grow senior coaches. If you have an ED, help them grow EDs. If you have a FIBIC, have them help them grow FIBICs. Work down, mentor, and anchor. All right, Justin, back to you.
Did you guys catch that? You got to understand, these guys are at the top level, man. They do the do. They do the do. And it's such a true blessing. So I know we're over on time. I got a few more minutes real quick. I just want to give us our action steps. And so first and foremost, we always say this, right? Suspend all fear and go. Just go. They don't pay your bills. Just go, right? Second action step. I talked about this earlier. Make a list of 10 people that could use our program in all areas. We're not just a weight loss program, right? All areas, healthy mind, healthy finances. Somewhere in there, they all correlate somehow. Third, send a text or a video. Probably should do a video. I probably should have done a video, but I was just in the moment when I sent it to Jamil. But send a text or a video to your coach and thank them for the opportunity. You newer coaches, thank them for the opportunity. If you take this seriously and you go to a full-time business and understand what you have in front of you, I think after today's stories, if you don't get it, I love you, but you should get it, right? Number 4, post a live today about what you do and share your full story. I talked about this the other day. How do you talk to a stranger? You share your story. How do you talk to a family member? You share your story. How do you connect with somebody? You share your story. Remember this, Facebook friends, you have 5,000 friends, not all 5,000 see it. If you feel or watch other leaders, if you feel like you're posting too much, post more. Just like we said, if you're not getting the results you want, talk to more people. They're not seeing these things. So go out there, post a live today about your story and what you do. Make it clear to people and do it even in your stories. I know we have IG stories now, we have Facebook stories, but also do it on your profile. Be consistent on Facebook. Be consistent on Facebook. 5 and 1 your business. We talk about hobbies and then that one healthy post. We talk about our family and that one healthy post. Keep it integrated. People are looking for people. They're not necessarily looking for a program. People are looking for people. They are looking for a program. You get what I'm saying? But they're being relatable. Be transparent. Be that person. Like you heard all these stories here. Nobody's different than any one of us. We've just maybe talked to more people, or we're brand new, whatever walk we're at right now, we are all the same. So be consistent on Facebook. And last but not least, win the day cards. You guys were awesome. These stories were phenomenal. And I appreciate every one of you guys that got on today on a Saturday. That means you want to be here. Super proud of you guys. Thanks for hanging tough. Talk to you guys later. Have a good one. I'll post the playback and the action steps. Have a blessed day. Happy holidays too.